risole, like shrimp creole and cafe au lait. I like jambalaya and crawfish etouffee. Red beans and rice, they sure are nice. That old New Orleans way, great chefs of New Orleans, they're coming your way. Today, great chefs of New Orleans, Louisiana.
Welcome to Great Chefs of New Orleans, featuring chefs' recipes and cooking hints from the finest restaurants in one of America's premier dining cities. This time from Gretna, Louisiana, the Ruths and Chef Warren LaRuth. It is an unpretentious building in an even more unpretentious neighborhood on the west bank of the Mississippi. But LaRuth's is also one of the city's most critically acclaimed restaurants. Chef LaRuth has built his operation to a point where reservation time is measured in months. The menu contains dishes that food writers have described as high Creole. Indeed, some have said that Warren LaRuth has single-handedly created a new category of New Orleans cookery. Although he has turned the restaurant over to his sons Larry and Lee, very little on the menu has changed. Chef LaRuth brings the precision of a scientist to seasoning steps. So pay close attention. With him, a pinch reflects years of experience as a taste expert for large operations such as Procter & Gamble.
Chef LaRuth offers 2 appetizers, oyster soup and a signature dish of the city, shrimp remoulade, followed by medallions of pork served with cucumbers and cap bread. The dessert is genoise with amaretto and chocolate. We begin with Margie's oyster soup. Chef LaRuth begins with chopped white and green onions, 2 cloves chopped garlic, 1 finely chopped celery heart, and chopped parsley. It's the prelude to a dish that's a family affair.
Oyster soup is very common in New Orleans. And in our home especially, it's served with big dinners like on Thanksgiving or Christmas. And the recipe that I'm furnishing is the best one that I have, and I learned it from my mother-in-law. Most people say you never use garlic when you cook with seafood and milk or cream. And hers does call for just a smidgen of garlic. And she always used to be known for this soup. All the oysters that you buy opened already and in the jars in the stores, although they're fresh and beautiful oysters, they've been washed. And when an oyster is washed, it removes quite a bit of the salt and the sea taste. So that's why we always recommend to people, if it's available in your area, to buy fresh open oysters, making sure that the shucker saves as much of the liquor or the juice that's on the oyster. If you don't have fresh oysters to make the soup, I don't recommend using canned oysters because it just has an entirely different taste. But I know in most areas, the large supermarkets have even gone to the extent of putting fresh fish markets in their supermarkets. You don't see too much of this in New Orleans because we have so many private, individually owned seafood stores. But I noticed in Chicago and New York and Cleveland and out in Texas, many of the large supermarkets have it available. Most of them have the jarred oysters available. And it does make a good soup, but it just doesn't have that extra finesse if you use the fresh shucked oysters.
Seasonings include salt and both red and white pepper.
The most important thing when you're making oyster soup is to be very careful you don't return it to a boil after you add the cream to it, because it tends to give a little curdle-looking effect. However, the soup will taste well, but it just doesn't have as great an eye appeal.